All right, we're back. It took a while, but I did kind of say it was going to take a while. This is one of those games that like kind of low priority for me apart from like I want to finish it. It's super good. The problem is just like so many other new games, it's a little time. Vacations are hard on me. Coffee, a cold coffee in an ashtray that looks like a hedgehog. Aw. Smoking always makes me sad. Look, a handful of dried white wildflowers. Just as you look at the flowers, a gust of wind raises them in front of the roof, picking them up in the air. Move your hand. Fast. The wind brushes them off the roof. They're gone. Oh well. The young woman has a cigarette in one hand and a cup of coffee in the other. Below her silvery jumpsuit, an athletic young body, built long and lean.
I'm sorry for the mess down there. The cleaning lady hasn't come by in days. I'm beginning to wonder if she ever will.
Is there a cleaning lady? I think I need one.
Oh yes, legends of room number 1 have made their way around the building. They say a portal to hell is opened in there.
Disco Infernum.
They also say that's why the cleaning lady quit. Because of the infernum.
I'm Kim Kitsuragi. I'm a detective from Precinct 57. I believe you have already met my colleague from Precinct 41.
Have I ever? This is the biggest fan of ostentatious orchestrations I have ever seen in my life, and I have seen a few. Oh yeah, life gets hard, but we go on.
The chorus of the 35 single, megaphoning the entire human race, instills you with the F-it-all swagger that prompts one to plow into grannies on your morning stroll. It's gotten pretty hard in the meantime, but I go on.
I can see that. I'm glad all this onward going has brought you to me.
Miss, we are investigating the murder of the man who was hanged. The people responsible have asked us to talk to you.
Ah, I see.
She takes a pensive drag on her menthol cigarette. Be careful, ask something else first. When you go there, use words like, I hear you've been through something difficult. What's your name, miss, for the record? Plache Amandu. Same name that Titus gave you. It sounds Orangeese. Orangeese. As does her accent. Are you from Orangi? I think that was how it was pronounced. I don't know, one of the loading screens had that, but eh. Right, sir. Redderford. Republic of Orangi. I think? I guess you could say I'm Orangese expatriate. How old are you? I'm 28. She takes a drag. What do you do, miss? What's your specialization? Something stupid. What's that? Orangese lit. Orangese lit? Orangese literature is what I studied at the university. She raises both eyebrows. What's it about? Fear of failure, fear of death, how it sucks to be Orangese. All natural literatures are only the name of the nation. Oh, all national languages, or literatures are. Only the name of the nation changes. What about Revicolian literature? People sometimes reveal things about themselves when they discuss such matters. Revicolian literature too? No! She seems glad you asked. Revicolian lit is about how magnificent and serious Revicol is. It's about how you have to save the world. I do feel the urge to save the world. Yeah, that's why I'm on the case. That's the natural state of the Revicolian hero. She breathes in the menthol-flavored fume, savoring it, then breathes out. She seems quite relaxed for a victim of assault, but, of course, what seems should not be your priority. Orangi's lit. What do you do with it? Nothing. I do nothing with it. Cool. It's not very cool, but what can you do? Let me take a look at your passport, please. I'm afraid you can't, officer. Why's that? Because it's buried in a sealed plastic bag in an undisclosed location on the coast, along with cash and airline tickets. Thank you for your candor. Why? They say so in your tourist brochure. Keep travel documents away from your person when west of the river. How do I know you've told us your real name? If I were to lie to you, I would come up with a more mainstream name than Clache Amantu. It's a weird name. Okay, then. Let's see. Thank you. That is for the record. Nice room you got here. Yeah, it's pretty deluxe. What are you doing in the Whirling in Rags? I'm wintering. How long have you been staying here? She calculates. About 4 months. I came in November. Why here? Here in the Whirling... Here in the Martinez, or here in Revicol? Whirling! Because it's the funkiest building in Martinez, and because all other buildings are bombed to hell. You're doing Whirling Rags. Okay. Why here? Why in Martinez? I heard this is where the washed-up disco has-beens go. No, this is Sassy Town. It's where the future of dance lies. If you say so, officer. If you say so. No. Why here? Why in Revicol? I always wanted to see the only city in the world in the worst time of the year. It's a tourist thing. This is by far not the only reason why she's here. And she isn't really hiding it either. They tell us you've been through something difficult. Something difficult, she raises her eyebrows. I've been through at least half a dozen difficult things. Which do you mean? Were you sexually assaulted, miss? By sexually assaulted, you mean raped. She takes a quick drag, unperturbed. Yes. It's a bit early in the morning for raped, isn't it? Actually, it's already afternoon. Is it? Squinting, she takes a look around. The spring sun is high in the sky. People pass below. It is afternoon. She looks into her coffee cup. Time flies, man. So, were you? Yeah, she draws out the word. I'm gonna go with not raped. I don't want to say that shit about him. By him, she must mean the victim. Tell them it's not my style. They'll have to, you know. If they want to jazz up the charges, they'll have to get someone more... She searches for the word, then shrugs. Rapeable. By they, she means the Hardy Boys. Are you saying that you were asked to tell us you were assaulted? Not explicitly, but I understood what they meant. It wouldn't hurt to spice things up a bit. Some assault and battery. Sexual assault, maybe. It was clear the latter would be spicier. Titus asked you to spice things up? For us? Pretty much. She cradles her coffee cup in both hands, warming them. So what did happen between you and the victim? Oh, sorry. Oh, so you weren't raped. 89% sure. So you're not entirely sure. You know how it is. Do you? I don't? Huh. She flicks a bit of ash away. Maybe you don't. The ash lands on her jumpsuit. She brushes it off. In conclusion, officer, I'm gonna go with mild to medium not raped here. That, what? It sounds like something happened, and you don't want to acknowledge it. Let me make this 100% clear then, officer. I was not sexually assaulted. She tilts her head. Would I be as flippant if I had been? What did happen between you and the victim? We partied. What kind of partying? Point to your bloated face. The kind I do? With all due respect, sir, I think we partied a little harder than that. Harder than this? Keep pointing to your face. I didn't know that was physically possible. Oh, it is. She takes a long drag. You're still alive. What did you do when you partied? We drank, sir. She takes a sip of her coffee. A lot. For weeks, basically. We had that effect on each other. We made each other drink harder. That's why I liked him. What else? Stimulants. Speed has that effect, making you drink harder. And then drinking harder makes you do more speed. It's quite the combination. We also had sex. You were lovers? I guess you can say that, yes. A bit. Lovers is a bit of an emotional word. But there was something There. We did enough drugs for there to be. How did you two meet? The lieutenant's voice is quiet, calm. Downstairs, she taps on the roof with her 10-centimeter heel. At the bar. He was on some sort of assignment. A military man. As you probably know. Had a cool, scary scar. When was this? A month ago? Something like that? Must be hard seeing him there. Oh yes, she says bitterly. I have multiple viewpoints. From the roof, out of the bathroom, window, in my dreams. A bitter cringe. It hurts. You look at the lieutenant. You called us. The RCM. Yes. Jackpot. The call, reporting the hanging. That was you? I made it, she nods. And I would appreciate it if you didn't tell everyone. In Martinez, they call it snitching. Reporting crimes is confidential and revocable, miss. Before we go on, if it's snitching, then why do it? Because I couldn't handle it anymore. She takes a drag, her voice thick with disgust. None of the people called. He just kept hanging there. And then they started stripping him. The caller's voice was disguised. I didn't exactly disguise it. I just muffled the mic and nickeled the landline a little. Nickeled it? How? With nail clippers, and then diverted some radio fuzz into it, into the cold wire. You're right to suspect there might be foul play involved with a broken phone line. And in the process, you broke the landline downstairs. Did I? She looks into her coffee. I didn't mean to. I had no idea what I was doing. Jigsaw falling into place. This is satisfying. Good catch. I appreciate the symmetry. Still, that's a pretty clever tampering. Simple and clever. Crossing the lines like that. Seems like you had some idea. That was nifty. Thanks. She manages to smile. Why go through all the trouble? I don't know. It was stupid. I was drunk too. I was probably afraid the Union was listening in. Locals say they have ears in the wires. Thank you for making the call, miss. It was the right thing to do. I didn't want to, sir. And he's still hanging there. She looks away. We'll move the body to the morgue today, miss. Don't worry. What can you tell me about him? Name, eyes, age? I'm sorry, I can't do it. She puffs on her cigarette. Not right now. Later, maybe. I keep seeing him, like he is now. Can't talk about his, I don't know, hair? Another puff, more nervous. I know it's difficult, miss. We can return to it later. She meant she sees him in her dreams. I've also seen him in a dream. You have, not like I do, I imagine. She's run out of cigarette. I am to light a new one. She sees them in each other's arms. You're in each other's arms. Yes, and he's dead, his mouth agape. She looks into the light green pack of cigarettes and pulls out another one, preparing to light it. I see him as me. She dips a cigarette in the lighter's flame and inhales, and then looks at you, lungs full of smoke. I can see the similarity, yes. She breathes out through her nostrils. The air smells of menthol. Funny, the lieutenant says softly. Funny how? Nothing. He nods towards the yard. I also saw him. We had a long inspection, and that sort of thing. Sticks with you. Let's move on. It's what they hang him for, if not rape. It had something to do with the strike. One has been roiling since I got here. Rotten timing, she thinks. But you probably know all about it. And his role in the strikes was what? I think he was in a security detail. He was ex-military, worked for Wild Pines, and against the Union. We didn't discuss work much, if you know what I mean, but I understood it was dangerous. And they lynched him for it? She nods. How do the Hardy Boys know you? They're frequent guests downstairs. She looks at the floor. It's tarred. They have a booth for Union members. They're probably down there right now. How'd you meet? Over drinks. It's been a long, boring winter. Did you party? A little, yeah. Like you partied with the deceased? No, not as hard. I'm sorry to have to ask this, but have you had a physical relationship with any of the Hardy Boys? I have. Which one? Which ones, sir? I don't remember precisely. Titus, obviously, but as I said, it's been a long winter. Thank you for telling us all of this, miss. She breathes a silvery sigh of relief and weariness. The air on the roof feels humid. Should we head back downstairs, officer? The lieutenant looks at you. We may have things to discuss there. Let's see. I had something else before we go. A little thing. Nope, return to this later. I need high volition. So you'd be here until 23. Drinking coffee, most likely. So you turn, a bright light catches your eye, making you squint. Where's it coming from? From a distant sunset, a stage light, flash photography. Nowhere in particular, it's just what superstar law officers do. They squint at lights, they solve shit. Yeah, it's me. I've been establishing my superstardom hard lately. Yeah, you have. You're a big dick cop, Dick Mullen, salam rocky bye, badass, on the edge disco cop. Time to recede into a ludicrous fantasy world. Here we go. Lights, camera, action. Thought gains, some kind of superstar. With a sudden flash, the world freezes around you, and you along with it. In an iconic monochrome solution, a black silhouette against a rasterized orange world. It's on.
Looks like we have more to discuss with those so-called Hardy Boys. Half their reasoning just went out the window.
Do you think this will make them cooperate? Nothing will make them respect the RCM, but it will disrupt the game they prepared for us. We just stripped off one layer of whatever it is. Her decision to not corroborate their story was definitely not part of the plan. How did she tell us all that? What else could she have done? Could she have done? Lie? She saw there was no way to lie and get away with it. I'm not sure she had to lie. I wouldn't have known. If not you, then me. It was a smart move for her. Something's off here. You think so? A shadow runs across his face. She seemed forthcoming, unusually so. Being forthcoming about some things is a good way to obscure other things. The best liars are always forthcoming. Anyway, we should move. I suspect her investigation will bring us back here soon enough. So, we've made progress. I still want to get that body down, but that's tough. That has been hastily made. Nope. Wait. Oh. I can look out the window. The window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an unfinished golden halo. Run your fingers across the surface of the glass. Smooth as ice. There are spots of mud and rain on the outside, even smudges. But the surface of the window is clear from the inside. No chips, no hairline fractures. Following your lead, the lieutenant leans in closer to inspect the surface. The window was recently replaced. Looks like it. He adjusts his glasses. That's interesting. We'll ask her about that sooner than later, but not immediately. I like this game. I'm still a little bit sad that it isn't doing very well on YouTube. But oh well, hotel bill calculations. Looks like she had an extended stay. Did I not look at these? All of dirty clothes of woman. Yeah, did I seriously not check this stuff out? Medicine cabinet is full of wares. Sheets of pills haphazardly stacked on top of one another. There's also a toothbrush somewhere in there. Look at the toothbrush. It's been used quite a lot. Medications. Pharmaceuticals line the shelves, sheet upon sheet, and pill bottle next to pill bottle. Acetylic acid, APAP, eye drops, blood thinners. Quite a collection here. Anything of note? He says in a lowered voice. Search the bottles. Pill bottles rattle like bones as you search the cabinet. Paracetamol, Ispaterol, something in a foreign language you can't read. Behind them, an unusually shaped nasal spray. Reads Nacra. Nacra is used to treat opioid overdoses. Always handy to have around. Nacra, opioid antagonist. Interesting. That's used for diamorphine overdoses. The lieutenant nods, then looks at the door. You could say he's on the lookout. Search the pill sheets. Let's see. Among some foreign, probably Messinian or Gottwildian... okay. Among some foreign, probably Messinian or Gottwildian marked red blister packs, you find... What do you find? This is going to take a little know-how. Electrochemistry. A bright orange bottle with Preptide stamped on it. In sunny happy letters. Jackpot, baby. That's the stuff you're looking for. Your palms begin to sweat, just holding onto the plastic container. Lieutenant, I also see a brand called Preptide. Peptide, a euphemism for pharmaceutical amphetamine. Prescription speed. The F are you waiting for? Let's get super effing preppy. So exciting about this orange bottle. It's speed, man. Just what you're looking for. They call it dextroamphetamine. And talk about psychological disorders. But what we're seeing here is some scientifically advanced trucker speed. Close the cabinet. Okay, so we're still working on the... Are we working on the White Morning? No, some kind of superstar, though. First, let's make this absolutely clear. No one's saying you're an actual superstar in the groupies and cocaine, riddled with hepatitis C, strikes in a lion-esque pose with Mike kind of way. You're not Guillermo Le Million or Davy Dewis. No, you're a metaphorical superstar. You bring that rock and roll authenticity and passion, the line of work where people don't expect or want to see it. Where some would say it doesn't belong. Law enforcement. Okay, so we've got a couple of things. Gotta go back to Joyce. I don't have any skill points. Oh boy, we have a lot. Okay, so confront the Hardy Boys. Confront the Hardy Boys about the drug trade. Special borscht. Oh, ask about that in the kitchen. Talk to Renee about the picture. Find all armor pieces. You want all the armor pieces. Deck yourself out in full metal battle-hardened glory. NB. This might take a little while. Like a long while. Hangman's boots. Okay, in order to succeed, body has to be down, autopsy has to be finished, and Kim has to be absent. He wouldn't approve. This will be devilishly tricky, so don't beat yourself up if you manage to send the body to processing without getting a hold of the boots. Where's the rest of the armor? So, go back to Kuno. Confront Kuno. Okay, so we got a lot of tasks to work on. And that was just today. I think there were a couple from the previous day that I can do too. Oh boy. I wonder... I'm really curious how many days there even are in this game. Because I know there's at least 3 days, obviously. You said you're friends with Manana, is that true? The mention of Manana gets his attention. He smiles and delivers a whole slew of unfamiliar words and lively gestures, then falls silent. What's in the borscht you're making there? Pointed at a large pot. The man says a couple of sentences in a strange language of his, and then seems to wait for you to speak. Pretty sure he asked you a question. He doesn't know your language. You can say something cool in return. Let's say yes. The man looks at you, then his face lightens up. He picks up a bottle from the shelf. Barskas, need more vodka. Okay, so it's vodka that keeps the men happy and in good spirits. He nods. Clever move by the Union. Of course, vodka. Now that makes it a very, very special borscht indeed. Turn it up and then ask for some yourself. Picking it up seems like a dangerous idea, honestly. The place is a powder keg. I'll leave the cooking to you. I had business. He gives you a long inspecting look, then shrugs too. Seems to wait for you to speak. Okay. I guess I should probably sabotage the borscht. Okay. Let's go no vodka. Okay. Cook gives you a long, disappointed look, then turns the stove off and seems to wait for you to speak. Alright. We sabotage the vodka soup. Because, I don't know. Okay, let's look at this. It's a bowl. There's spit in it, reeking of tobacco. Oh, gross. Photos of men in overalls, toting guns and Union placards. You see hawthorn bushes outside. Oh. I guess we can also go talk to Kuno. We got a lot of things that we can do. It's a matter of, like, which is worth my time and which will actually lead to stuff. But yeah, maybe bushes outside will actually have a notable effect. Oh. Doesn't seem to matter. Alright, let's start with Kuno.
Fuck, does Kuno care?
I talked to Manana about the armor. So, he raises his eyebrows, projecting aggressive indifference. He told me you promised to stick the pigs on him. Oh, he said thank you. Wasn't too keen on chasing down that armor anyway. Ah, okay. Kuno's a giver like that, yes, he looks slightly confused. Kuno sent your fat ass running around like Jello. Look, pig, he's suddenly all business. Kuno sent you to rough some people up. Kuno played you. That happened. Now you and Kuno should move on. I'll remember this, Kuno. You got effed. He repeats. You got effed, pig. Effed bad. Of course you're gonna remember this. Now get the F out of here, griefing the Kuno. After this shit, you've got... better have something real interesting to say if you want to stay in Kuno's face. That's a real low chance. And kind of a dead end. Let's see what's up with this kid. Nope, that didn't work. Kuno, City of Rage, Night City. What's going on here? I'm intrigued. No, the evil shit behind the fence hacks like she's coughing up a furball. You told him about it, and now he knows you're lame. City's not effing lame, you're lame. Kuno's tired of defending Rage City from... He waves his hands in the air. Just F off, alright? And after you too, he adds, turning to you. Putting Kuno on the spot like that, Kuno doesn't need to explain his shit. Kuno's king, he rules here. F did you want? Explain himself? As if explaining some kind of work. Some kind of avant-garde work. Way ahead of its time? I'm intrigued. You... Okay. You must get to the bottom of this one of these days. Sadly, it's unlikely to happen today. So we need empathy. Well, that sucks. Okay, and it doesn't look like I can get to those bushes that were mentioned. Yeah, so we're gonna have a lot of dead ends here. That's just default. It sucks, but oh well. Let's see. Okay, so let's talk to the Hardy Boys again. We talked to the lawyer, but I think I'm gonna go straight.
Are still hanging around. What is it now?
Guess what? I've connected you to the local drug trade. Like hell you have. He leans back, unruffled. There's no local drug trade. The place is clean as a rifle. Go back to Jamrock and ask your local junkies how to clean your streets. How clean your streets are in Precinct 41 kilos. We'll do that. In the meantime, he points out, did you know there's an abandoned lorry at the intersection that was used to move raw ingredients for drugs from Terminal B to Jamrock? The person driving it was present at the hanging. It was one of you. We connected the footprints. Taps on his notebook. Then turns to you. Detective, do you want to deliver the coup de grace? The thought forms in your head, like a lightning strike in the sky. No, you do the honor. You've earned it. Thank you. He turns to face the man. You're right, Titus. There is no local drug trade because it's all controlled by you. You're the drug trade. That's a mighty interesting theory. He rubs his jaw, smiling. Guess that's what you need to do, theoretically. A big, strong, state-run monopoly would outcompete the runts on the street. Yeah, man. Theoretically, that's what you would do. Get rid of the gangs, the dealers, and even some of the junkies. You need good, trustworthy people to take their place, of course. Hardy men to run such a monopoly. He grins. For the good of the community, of course. Yeah, keep telling yourself that. No, for a fact there's still plenty of drugs out there. No, there aren't. Some little shit and his dad are doing speed. Boo effing who. The stuff's probably from Jamrock. Little shit. That's Kuno in the yard. Whatever you've seen is peanuts. Look at the big picture, man. This place is a paradise, all thanks to the Hardy Boys. Theoretically, of course. We're just talking politics here. My answer to your drug accusation is how dare you. Go F yourself. Not quite yet, Mr. Hardy. There are 8 sets of prints in the crime scene, and there's only 7 Hardy boys here. The 8th Hardy, the one who's missing. She runs the thing, right? My answer is F off. He takes a step closer. Mind your own business. There's no 8th Hardy. I run this goddamn scene. And here we go, back to the usual. The woman sighs. I know. The little man raises his index finger excitedly. Fatty walked on all 4s. He's so effing fat, he left 2 sets of footprints. Despite everything, the little man is quick on his feet. Go F your mom, Dennis. That's more like it, boys. She turns to you. You heard him. It was Angus on all 4s. Anything else you need to know? Blache says she wasn't raped. The big man's eyes and veins bulge. I knew that effing whore couldn't be trusted. For the record, she steps in forcefully. Titus Hardy did not explicitly specify the victim was a whore, nor did he say anything about trusting her. Oh, shut up and stay out of this, Liz. He turns back to you. He raped her. He was out of his effing mind. You had no idea. She's just in denial, asshole. You don't understand the traumatic experience she's shutting down. And she doesn't effing trust you. Yes, she's crazy, you know? The rat-faced man says carefully. A crazy bitch. You know the type. She's effed up. God damn. Alright, whatever. Crazy, what are you talking about? She was very lucid. She wasn't raped. The lieutenant's voice is beginning to betray his agitation. The witness's statements were very clear. Lawman, he says through clenched teeth, I'm at the end of my goddamn rope with you. I haven't told you not to push her. And you wouldn't push her. Something breaks in him. He takes a step closer and says, I'm going to effing hit you. Duck. Titus Hardy, her voice rings through the room like a warning shot. Success. Titus backs off. Fist down. Fists down, everybody. Everett personally sent me to take care of this. If this goes south, we'll all be in the shit. But you, Titus Hardy, are going to be buried. Am I understood? When she's angry, she emphasizes the S. It gives her voice a strangely hypnotic quality. Her lips barely move as she speaks. Frankly, it's a bit terrifying. Someone has to rush in and break the tension. The second in command. Look, Copper, the tattooed man snaps his fingers to get your attention. We know that Dead F was a rapist and a killer. We got him confessing to it on tape. Show it to him, T. Turns to Titus, who's still breathing heavily. What's the harm, right? Here, jerkwad. Slams an audio tape on the table. Listen to this shit, and then come back and tell me this. The Soldier of Apocalypse is an innocent man. That's their last play. This tape. The story is in tatters, a mess. Might be nice to listen to, but at this point, you don't need to. Why should I care about the tape? You lied to me. You don't care about evidence, his eye twitches. The F are you a cop for, then? Pigs? T. They don't care about getting the truth. They care about getting convictions. They're effing keeping score on their bulletin boards. I won't be on your bulletin board. If you don't listen to the tape, we got nothing to talk about. There's a lot of questions. If you ask them now, they'll keep bringing up the tape. Listen to it, and they'll have nothing to hide behind. Where can I listen to this? I'm sure we can find a tape player, the lieutenant whispers. Where can I listen to this, he mocks you. Why don't you try shoving it up your ass, genius? Yeah, play with... Jesus. Alright, I'm sure we can find a tape player. It's not a problem. He repeats calmly in a hushed voice. Your room had one, or maybe it's too broken. Alright, that's enough for now. Take the tape. Don't forget your tape, lawman. He pushes the little tape towards you with his giant hand. Compliments of Titus Hardy. Okay, so we gained the Door Gunner Mega Mix. Wait, did the guy just record a song? Is that what they have? Just music? Nothing more? Compact tape player is still and silent. Seems it is completely broken down now. The machine was made in Revicol by a company called Le Messier. Their logo depicts the Triple Tower Delta skyline. It was supposedly built to last. There is no fixing this one. It would have been very helpful with the Mega Mix, he stares at the tape player, but it isn't anymore. Any ideas? My Kanema only comes with a radio, he ponders. Let's try and find a new tape player. Maybe we should talk to Roy at the pawn shop. He has stuff. That he does. Oy. Alright. Do I still have my bag out? I should make sure I always have that in my hands, because I'm pretty sure trash does not, isn't highlighted. Oh, I don't. Because I think there were some bottles in What's-Her-Face's room, so we're going to want to grab those. I'm doing alright financially currently, but it's going to get more expensive as we go along, because I'm running out of places to explore. So, I mean, if we're lucky, we get more of the city to explore sooner than later, but if we don't, I don't know. I do really like the idea of... Oh, let's go talk to Renee. I do really like the idea of a CRPG where you actually have to keep on top of some of these needs. Otherwise, they mess with you. Not a big deal, but still. Let's see. Renee, I found your guard booth. Yes, the Debitors Union pays me to stand vigil during the nights. He looks down. Not out of any political allegiance, mind you. I'm an old man. Don't sleep more than a few hours every night, anyway, and money is tight, he adds with a slight sigh. Saw a picture in there. You're in it. Who's the girl? His features stiffen and he gets a cold look. She's nobody. That's none of your concern, and I refuse to discuss my private affairs with the RCM. Lady is Jean-Marie Boulot. Bulot? I don't know. Gaston speaks in a soft voice, and she sure as hell wasn't a nobody. You must have seen something on the night of the murder. Your booth looks right into the yard. Yes, it does, he nods. Unfortunately, I wasn't working that night. Been on a 2-week leave since Monday. Why are you on a leave? It's a private matter, he says with dignity. Nothing to do with your investigation. See, officer, Renee is a kind of man who'd rather die than admit he needs medical assistance or, God forbid, seek it. A real man's man. He's gonna ride it out. I'm fine, goddammit. Mind your own business. The outburst makes him clutch his chest. It's nothing, so just gotta cut back on the coffee. So who's working your shift that night? No one. The booth's been unmanned since last Monday. He looks suddenly very old and tired. There's no other guard, just me. No one's been guarding the container yard since last Monday. Yes, he nods, before hesitantly continuing. It's not actually an issue. I mean... Look, officers, his partner jumps in. The container yard doesn't actually need a guardsman. Never had one before Renee. Mr. Claire had that booth built specifically for him. It's mostly decorative. Mostly decorative? The possibility of someone being there is enough to discourage any ill-minded individuals, he tries to argue. Everard created this job for Renee because he knows the Royal Carabineers' pension of honor, and PTSD isn't something a man can live off of. Decorated Kingsman collecting tear reflects bad on the whole neighborhood. His words. Let me see. Renee is but one man. We need a program. Get all the elderly back in the job market. Keep folks motivated. Look, officer. He pauses like he doesn't actually know how to reply. Can we continue the topic of my guard booth now? Got it. Thanks. Okay, and we're done. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to... Oh, nope. What is this? We're getting reports of normal and reasonable temperate political opinions somewhere in Martinez. That's me, Mr. Reasonable. Someone's got to keep it sane around here. The air suddenly feels calmer, more transparent in a strangely tender way. Perhaps it's the hangover. Perhaps it's a temporary surge of serotonin. But something tells you it's time to become a citizen of the Kingdom of Conscience. First, where is the Kingdom of Conscience? It's not a place, it's a moment in time that can only arise in the right circumstances. In all of human history, it's only been achieved a handful of times. How do you bring about those circumstances? Incrementally. Yeah, you'd be faster with a little bit of speed. History's greatest catastrophes have been brought about by people trying to make the world a better place too quickly. That's the genius of Dolores Day. She recognized that progress is meaningless if its gains are lost because of instability. Real lasting change can only come about gradually, increment by increment. But what about all... Okay. But what's the Kingdom of Conscience actually like? The kingdom is difficult to comprehend, even more difficult to describe. Partly because of humanity will need to discard many of the categories that define and limit it today. The Kingdom of Conscience is post-capitalist, post-natural, and national. It's also post-industrial, post-ideological, and even post-sexual. Sounds incredible. Alan Z. Let's go there right now. Slow down, Mr. Reasonable. Did you miss the part about compromising and taking things slowly? Oh, right. Let's get there eventually. That's right. Remember, real democracy is just around the corner for Revocol. Just when that real democracy kicks in, a long time from now, we're all going to be so much happier. Empathy. Maximum empathy. Cool. You know what I need empathy for? My stomach. I'm starving. And this is a good stopping point anyway. Was that my belt? I have no idea. It was like a weird, like, squeaky noise. Anyway, so I will see you guys in the next episode of Disco Elysium. I want to play more of this. It's going to be a little hard to fit around all the other games that have been coming out that I've missed and a bunch of other stuff. But I'm going to try and stick to daily. They just... The durations might kind of come and go.